Hi everybody, how are you doing? Sorry I'm like a minute late, but just trying to get everything set up. It's been a few days. Okay, so let's see. Am I in frame? Can you see everything? Hi there, how are you? Good to see you. Alright, looks like a lot of students. Hi, good to see you, how are you? I missed you guys. Hi Tandy, how are you? How's everyone? Oh good. Well, I hope everyone's doing all right. I know it feels like forever since the last time I was on here, but last week was just an amazing week for my ALA students, and I really want to thank my ALA officers who did the live check-ins, and also a special shout out to Alicia Money. She is from RLC Counseling Services, and she took over the Instagram one day, and so you guys were just so brave and just so wonderful. And I hope you're doing well. And the last time I talked to Mons, she's our vice president, she got more cookie orders. So she was doing a demo of cookie decorating, talking about her cookie business. So hopefully she's staying busy and, hi there, good to see you, Giselle. I hope that we keep supporting small businesses. Every so often I do get food to go, and I am increasing my tip payment to make sure that they're all okay. So, there's Sonia. So, hope everyone's doing well. It's been a rough week for me personally, I know everyone's stressed out with the news and what's going on. I just see the death toll rises every day. And hi Claudia, good to see you. Hey there. Hi, nice to meet you. One of my online students, Shad. I don't know if I said your name right, but I will read your letter later. So nice to meet you. Good to see you. And, just seeing all the numbers, and I saw the convention center downtown is going to be an overflow hospital for patients. And, they've even said haven't even hit the worst of it yet. So, I hope everyone is just staying safe and staying home. I know of a couple of people that are sick. I don't know for sure if it's the virus itself. We're hoping it's just the flu. So every day I'm just, sending out positive energy and hoping people are staying positive and staying good and staying healthy. So I'm going to lower my music here just a minute. Hey Google, lower volume. Okay, sorry, it gets a little too loud. And if you have a Google, I may have triggered yours, so sorry about that. All right, well, welcome to my check-in. I like doing the live check-ins, and this is kind of one of my, what I call my art room, my craft area. So I have like a vision board, and I add certain things to it. I like to add little kind of like Where's Waldo if you notice anything different. This is actually the newest item. It's Guatemalan, so I wanted to honor Central American countries today. And this one is a purse I got from Bali, and so I love all my, I can't wear my purses out, so why not hang them up and use them as art? So that's basically what I've been doing. I do a lot of crafts. If you've seen any of my videos from the previous weeks, they are on YouTube. You can just Google ALA Student Club, and I talk about some of my crafts, and I'm about to start my Easter crafts. I have mostly been doing some sewing. I finally broke out my sewing machine a couple of weeks ago. It took me 2 hours to figure out how to put it together and actually thread the damn thing. I've been watching lots of videos on how to do that. But again, persistence over time, patience, eventually I figure it out. And just to show you, I'm still making masks. This is actually the very prototype, the first one I ever made. And you can see the crappy stitching and when it got caught in the bobbin. And then it was all gray in the beginning, and then I went back, and this is actually a piece of material from an Indian sari. So I have a couple of saris that I don't wear anymore, and I hate the idea of getting rid of this fabric. They're so beautiful. So I'm really getting more into upcycling. So I'm going to take some of my old saris and some of my older Indian outfits and try and make skirts and stuff. And so I added a little thing so it looks so I can be fashionable, with my mask. I don't know if you saw lately on the news, there's been conversation about should we be wearing masks in public or not. And of course, the CDC is not officially going to encourage you to do that, because if you think about it, there would be a run on masks and everyone would start hoarding masks. But I say if you know how to make one, if you have a mom or a grandmother, or if you have a sewing machine, definitely get in the habit. Whenever we go out, like if I go to the grocery store or I go pick up fast food or something, I am wearing my mask, and I made one for my teenager. He likes driving wearing it. He looks very ninja because it's all black, so he's looking super cool. And, you know, we just have to take that extra precaution. I actually line mine, this one I actually closed, but I line it with a mask or some kind of filter. You know, better safe than sorry. If it makes me crazy, if it makes me paranoid, at least I'm doing everything I know how to do to stay safe. When I go to the Asian grocery store, everybody is wearing a mask and wearing gloves. And then I go to like Tom Thumb and nobody's wearing a mask. And I get stares at both places. So, you know, I take it for what it is, but you know, it keeps my mind occupied, gives me something to focus on. I'm going to start making masks for family now that I'm getting a little bit better at it and can start kind of picking up the speed. So, you know, I hope you're doing something creative just to keep yourself occupied, keep yourself focused. I know, especially from my online students, now you have assignments, and my regular students, we finally went back to work, and I'm sure all of your professors have now emailed you, and you've got a shit ton of work to do now. So just take it day by day, just be very patient. It took me a while to get my classes back, honestly, because I spent more of my time helping older faculty that are not good with technology to get back, to learn how to translate to an online format. And so in a way, it did my heart a lot of good to do that. I'm happy to share my technology experience. I'm a Gen Xer, but I was one of the lucky few that grew up with computers in my household. So my father actually had a computer business in the 80s. And I'll share a little bit of chisme. Chisme in Spanish is gossip. I'll share a little gossip with you. When my father had his computer business in the 80s, guess who was a technician who worked for my dad? Mark Cuban, the owner of the Mavericks basketball. So I have very vague memories of Mark Cuban. My brother is older. He remembers working with him. He was just another one of many scruffy techs that worked for my father's computer business. And so you can imagine how proud my father was when Mark Cuban, you know, sold Yahoo and then bought the Mavericks. And unfortunately, my father is no longer with us, but he got to kind of see Mark flourish. And I'll share a little bit of chisme that, you know, I don't know if it's true, but I'm just going to share what was told to me. When Mark Cuban worked for my dad, you know, he was also in sales. And so you have to do a lot of kind of pitches to companies. So what Mark used to do is that he would go and find a company they were interested in. He would start flirting with the secretary, maybe even take her out a couple of times. And that's how he got my dad's name on the books so that he could call the owner and then sell computers to them. So, yeah, I find that humorous. And Mark Cuban, if you ever see this, which I really doubt you will, that's what I was told. So I don't know if that's true or not, but, you know, take that for what you will. So, hi, we saw a few more people joining us. Good to see you. So that's a little bit of chisme. So my dad sold the first personal computers in Dallas in the 80s. And there's a series on AMC, I forgot the name of it because my mind is going, that shows technology in the 80s, because it was kind of the Wild West here in Texas and in Silicon Valley. And let me tell you, hi Daphne, good to see you. Let me tell you, it is so much just like how my father's office was, and I remember going to the office with Dad and all of those things. So he had a computer in the house. So I grew up with computers in the home from the time I was like 7 or 8, well until college. And in fact, I had a computer at college when nobody else had one. So I have been very blessed and very fortunate to be able to have that technology background. And then technology is how I paid for school, because in the 90s, you could work in tech support, you could work as a programmer, you didn't have to have a degree in any of those things. They trained you on the job. And trust me, you made really nice money. But, you know, a lot of those jobs, of course, gone overseas. Now there's a push to bring them back, the call centers and what have you. But all I can say is it was an opportunity, and I was able to pay for my schooling with it. And so now to be able to help older faculty transition to online, help show them how to make videos and things, it does my heart good. Hi, Kelly, good to see you. Oh, Daphne, I saw your Legos. I love them. I love that you're doing Legos, and they're so creative. And we have, you know, boxes and boxes of Legos in this house, and nobody is touching them. But I'm not allowed to throw them out because, you know, they're for grandchildren or what have you. So, but that's so great. Hi, Sham, good to see you. I miss you. I miss you guys. I miss Sham and his comments, speaking up in class. Hi, Christopher, good to see you. So hopefully everyone's doing well. Oh, you're okay. So definitely, Daphne, post your second Lego. I want to see. Keep posting them. We've been watching that Lego show, that reality show, that competition, and I've really been enjoying it. So you're hungry. Crystal's hungry. Claudia's hungry. Well, yes, join the club. Has everyone gone through all their quarantine snacks yet? I'm at about halfway, so I have to start kind of limiting my. Oh, yay! SGA is going to start doing check-ins twice a week. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad we're inspiring you. Let me know. I would love to jump in and join with you guys. I could always use a break, so wonderful. Or maybe we can do guest spots on each other's, okay? Oh, wonderful. Daddy's going to have her stuff posted. So, yeah, please, you guys, if you're following me on my personal Instagram at Prof. Navarro or even on Allah's, tag us or, post the stuff that you're doing just to keep yourself sane. If it's crafting, if it's walking outside, if it's something silly, whatever you want to do. You have a friend on the Lego show, Kelly? Oh, my gosh. That is amazing. Kelly goes to all the Comic-Cons and stuff. I'm so envious. And if you ever see Kelly from Office Student Life, she wears the best costumes during when we have our costume contests as well. So, hi Sham, good to see you. All right, well, this is just a check-in. I know it's been a few days. I personally am struggling. I shared online that one of my aunts in San Antonio passed away. She died of cancer, though, not of COVID-19. But it was kind of a shock. She had kind of not told us. The tiny blonde girl. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm reading Kelly's comments. Oh, the one that did the Harley Quinn hair from Lego. I loved her. That's amazing. That is so cool. So anyway, back to my aunt. She passed away. We found out, God, it's been almost 2 weeks now, or a week and a half. And it was a bit of a shock because she was the baby in my mom's family of 9 kids. 12, my grandmother had 12 pregnancies, but 9 survived to adulthood. All of the brothers have gone. There's 5 brothers, and these are the last sisters. Thank you. I appreciate that, Daphne. And my aunt that died, she was one of a set of twins, fraternal twins. And so she technically was the baby. And to have passed away, I appreciate it. It's just, and death just makes everything much more complicated. We weren't as close to the family in San Antonio. My mom and her sisters, they don't have the easiest relationship, and they don't speak for a long time, and then they come together, and then they don't speak. If you saw a previous check-in that I did, I talked a lot about fear of death, fear of loss, and that I have witnessed so much death in my life. For me, it's just part of the cycle. But I can also tell you, as many deaths as I've witnessed and the funerals I have attended, it does not get any easier. It still hurts. It is still shocking. I am still processing that grief, and really the last few days she's just been on my mind. You cycle through all your memories, all the photograph images in your mind of, like, last time she was in Dallas, the last time I saw her, things she did for me when I was little, and I'm starting to kind of downplay the more negative things that I remember about her. I'm kind of pushing those off to, okay, she wasn't the easiest person to live with, and not the best babysitter, let's face it, not good with children, but now that I'm getting more time and clarity, I think I really did admire her and kind of mirrored a lot of my life similar to hers. She did get married, and I remember, because I was a flower girl in the 70s. If I find some pictures, I'll show you guys. I was freaking cute. And I actually ruined her wedding. Oops. I was like 3, maybe 4 years old. Cute little flower girl dress. I was already annoyed that one of my cousins burned me with the curling iron, the big ass curling iron, so my forehead was burned, so I was already mad. I was sick of all the makeup and all the women, and when the ceremony started and I'm walking down, I see my daddy, and of course I'm a daddy's girl, and I scream at the top of my lungs, "I want my daddy!" And everyone stopped, and I would not stop. And my poor father had to get up, go grab me, and then let me sit with him and my big brother. And you can imagine, I find those things hilarious. My poor aunt, I'm sure she was furious with me for doing that. But, that's what you get for putting kids in your wedding. So what can I say? But that's a happy memory for me, and we kept that dress forever. I love it. It was a big princess, poofy, mini ruffle dress. But, she wasn't married for long, got divorced, and never remarried, and never had children. But she was the first example in my life of someone who lived a truly independent life. And she really did. She had her own house. She saved up enough money, and she had a really nice car. You know, she took herself on vacations with her friends. You know, she had nice jewelry. She did her hair. You know, very social. And she really was the caregiver in the family. The minute anyone was in the hospital, the minute anyone started getting sick, she was there. And I don't mean like she's just sitting there holding your hand. She is there like changing your adult diaper and making sure you're getting fed and making sure the nurses are not, you know, sticking you too many times. I mean, you can imagine she just kind of terrified the nursing staff. But somebody has to be vigilant and make sure that if your loved one is sick, that they are being taken care of. And that's what she was good at, honestly. And I think it gave her purpose. I think it gave her a way to deal with her own isolation, her own loneliness. I know she dated here and there, but, you know, as time passes, she really was an amazing woman. And it's really sad that we probably won't be able to go to the funeral. They're still figuring out those details. And you have to understand, in my family, funerals are a big deal. You have not been to a funeral till you have been to a mariachi at the graveside kind of funeral. So that is what my grandparents had. My poor grandfather playing his violin, graveside, everyone singing while they're burying my grandmother. And I know my aunt, she probably had a well-planned funeral for herself. And I just find it unfortunate and kind of the sad irony that she's not going to even get the funeral she wants, because who's going to show up right now with this virus? And I just saw some of your comments coming through. Everyone's worried about their parents that are older. I feel you. My mom is 80, and so now I haven't seen her at all because I have kind of been around some people that might have the flu or might be sick, so I can't take the chance. It's been 2 weeks and I have not had any real symptoms, so I'm okay so far, knock on wood, somewhere. But we'll see. But yeah, hang in there. Make sure you're calling people every day. Make sure you're connecting on social media. I have a Zoom cocktail party I'm going to on Thursday with some friends. So, you know, hopefully you're doing things to stay focused and stay healthy and stay happy. Okay. Let's see, what else is going on? Well, I usually have a little more organized. I usually have like some trivia that I talk about, or I talk about some cultural events, things related to Latino culture. Hold on a second. Hey Google, next song. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me over the singer. I usually play just more background music. But I did want to share with you, it is Cesar Chavez's birthday. So hopefully you know who Cesar Chavez is. They did name a street after him down here. And UCLA also named their Chicano Studies program, the Cesar Chavez program. So if you don't know who he is, one of my ALA students from Richardson High School sent us all some great information on our group chat about everything that he did. And so it was nice to refresh all the things he is known for. Yes, it's a good song. So Cesar Chavez really fought hard for the migrant workers, who are mostly of Latino descent, not just Mexican, but many that come from Central and South America. And you have to understand, they have always been exploited. They have always been marginalized. And in the 60s, he really kind of takes that term Chicano, which used to be kind of a derogatory term, you know, someone who is a first generation, or Pocho. Pocho is another term that was used. And he turns that word around and becomes a word for activism. So to say you are a Chicano means you are supporting La Raza, you're fighting for noble causes, and your belief in that everyone should be treated equally and with respect. And Cesar Chavez did a lot. I mean, you can imagine how hard that was just to get the workers to even, you know, protest with him. Because the minute owners heard the word union, they were going to fire you. So you're at risk of losing the only means of surviving and putting food on the table. You're not going to complain about the working conditions or where you're sleeping or what you're eating. And he really did a lot to give them a voice and help them unionize. I learned the term huelga, Huelga, I believe, strike, you know, and they went after Cesar Chavez. They harassed all the people, threw him in and out of jail. At one point, Cesar Chavez went on a fast. He stopped eating. So very similar to Gandhi, he showed his solidarity with the workers by simply not eating, and really that's what destroyed his health in the end, just doing, and we're talking fasts for like months at a time. So hi Sakina, good to see you. So you can imagine, but to be able to have that sense of purpose, and he also got the American public then to stop buying like grapes at the supermarket, right? Knowing that these grapes that you're eating or this fruit you're eating is coming from the hands of someone who's been exploited. So I always kind of think about him, and I always think about the people that work so hard to put all these vegetables and fruits in the grocery store. I mean, they're so clean and organized and perfect, and I think about what that journey was for the people that worked to be able to bring that to us. And if you're looking for a more modern day continuation of the Cesar Chavez story, you should look on PBS. There's a documentary called Rape in the Fields, and I actually assign it to my 1302 history class towards the end of the semester, so you guys will see it. And it talks about not just the exploitation, but what happens then when you start bringing families across the border. What happens when you have women working in the fields, and then the foremen are sexually harassing you, and in many cases raping you. So who are you going to complain to? You know, what rights do you have as a woman? And there's none. And so this is still an ongoing issue, ongoing problem. So, you know, Cesar Chavez did a lot. He brought us so many steps forward, but we still have a long way to go. So, and especially right now with the quarantine and the COVID-19, the fact that these people are still working, still putting themselves at risk so that we can have food when we go to the grocery store. Yeah, it's significant. So we should at least honor that and respect that. And I'm very mindful about not trying to waste food if I bought it. I don't know what's going on with my music today. I'm just getting weird music today. I'm getting celebratory music. Okay, whatever. So I just want to say happy Cesar Chavez Day. It's also, March 31st. Today is my boyfriend's birthday, too. So happy birthday to him. I don't know that he watches my show, but anyway. It's not the best time to celebrate a birthday, but, you know, finally when we're out and about, you know, once all this is over, we'll go out and have a nice dinner and celebrate. So, is it Lord of the Rings music? Okay, I don't even know. I just put on meditation music, so apparently this music is good for meditation. Who knew? So there you are. Alrighty, well, I think that's really all I was going to cover for today. I just wanted to check in with you guys, and I know for my face-to-face and my online students, it took me a little bit longer to get set up and going. Oh, Mons is on here, Dulce de Mons. Montserrat, are you getting more orders from your cookie business? I was talking about you a little bit. Today's the day Selena died. How did I not know that? Well, okay, then we need to say, you know, thank you to Selena for her music and for being so amazing. That's unfortunate as well. I remember she died around April. I didn't know it was the 31st. So, yeah, that's true. I know, I loved her music as well, and it broke my heart. But, you know, one thing we love about Latino culture, we love our music, we love our celebrities, we love our musicians, and we keep honoring them. And whenever I go to any kind of Day of the Dead event, there is always something Selena related. So that's always nice to see. Okay. Oh, wow. So Mon says she's doing deliveries. She's 12 deliveries today. That's awesome. Well, you keep hanging in there. You keep doing orders. And if we need to keep doing more promotions, if you have not had a chance, check out Mons's cookie Instagram page. It's dulce_de_mons, if you see it on there. And she's doing cookie kits for Easter, so she gives you the pre-made cookies and the frosting and the sprinkles. So especially if you have little kids at home or something, I mean, that's a great activity. So hopefully she will stay focused and stay busy. Yeah, there it is, at Dulce de Mons. Absolutely. So I know, hopefully all of you, I don't know if any of you are still working or if they've sent you home. But if you are working, I hope you are staying safe and that you don't get sick. My boyfriend had to close his shop for a couple of weeks as well. There's really no business on Harry Hines. He's doing a few online orders, so he'll go in but just lock the door, and he'll do some online shipping where he can. But I do know that they're going to have small business loans coming out. So if you do have a small business, look at, I don't know if it's on the government page website or not, but you can certainly do a small business loan so you can keep doing payroll and keep moving things forward. And I think if you keep your employees after this is over, that they will actually forgive the loan. So hey, definitely take advantage of that opportunity. I'm going to try and get my taxes in as soon as I can if there's any kind of refund, which for me probably will not be, but I know they extended that as well. And if you are working and they sent you home, I know in some places they went ahead and just let people go so that they could file for unemployment. And unemployment, the rate is a little bit higher than normal. And hey, it's better than nothing. So I've done unemployment years ago, but you do it through the website and you can get a paycheck. And trust me, $400 or $500 makes a difference. You know, at least pays for gas and maybe keeps the lights on. So if you are struggling, if you're going through any kind of hardship, especially with internet and things, make sure you email me or email your professors or email SGA, let them know. We want to make sure we're reaching out to everyone. Kelly, I don't think they're doing the pantry on campus, but there are plenty of food bank places you can go to, and they are asking for donations for more food. And I do know the blood center, Red Cross, needs blood donations as well. So if you're feeling helpless during this time and you want to do something to help, there are so many things you can still do. So you can donate blood, you can donate food. If you have a sewing machine, you can make masks and donate those. So hopefully you're finding ways to stay focused. And I know with all of you having your classes, I hope you're kind of chunking up your day, you know, doing a little bit here and then taking a break, doing something else and then taking a break. I've been on my computer all morning. In fact, my wrist hurts because the last 2 days it's just been a lot of work to get uploaded. So I have to pace myself as well when I say I'm going to upload more assignments until I start kind of feeling pain, and then I have to go and take a break. So, you know, we will get through this. It's looking like they're going to extend the quarantine probably till the end of April. So I think realistically, I don't know that we're going to come back on campus, but I haven't gotten official word yet. But I went ahead and acted as if we weren't going to come back, and that's how I set all my deadlines for my classes. So, you know, it's kind of a wait and see. Wouldn't it be shocking if we didn't come back until fall? I mean, oh my gosh. But, you know, this is the new reality. This is what we're living in, and we will get through it. Absolutely. So, all right. Well, I usually close out my session with doing maybe some breathing exercises. I do have some trivia, but I didn't get a chance to write them all down. So why don't we do some fun trivia on the next check-in? And I have plenty of topics coming up. I think Counseling Services still wants to do a live check-in. So if you are kind of worried about your mental health or you want to ask questions, we did have Alicia Money come in and take over the Instagram. And I'll see if she's going to do it again on Thursday or if someone else from Counseling Services wants to do it. So I think they want to do a regular weekly check-in. So we'll continue to do that. I'm thinking maybe Friday I might do a special talk about my grandfather. He was a famous musician in Mexico, and I've actually written papers about him and wrote a fictionalized biography. So maybe I'll share some chisme with that. So I'm thinking Friday might be a good day to do that. So, well, I also wanted to recommend, are you listening to any podcasts or watching any shows right now? We do, if we write smaller paragraph. Well, I deduct points if we write a smaller paragraph in our assignments and discussion boards. Honestly, I have to look at it. I would say if it's just like a sentence, you're going to lose points for sure. Really, it's about the quality of what you're writing. So if it is, just know that if it's smaller in length, then probably I'm going to look at the content. And if it's just too generalized, like I know a BS kind of paragraph when I see one. So I may just say expand more on your ideas. That's why we do a pre-unit. So I'm usually easier on the grading with the pre-unit. And then as we get into more of the unit assignments, I get pickier and harder. And so if you're just consistently doing very little work all the way through, yeah, you are going to lose points. Okay, so that's to my new students that joined the online class. So don't worry, once I grade a few things, you'll kind of know. And usually the students who are most worried are usually the ones that are going to be just fine. It's the ones that don't reach out to me at all that usually are not doing very good work. So, hi German, good to see you. Hope you're well. Okay, so I saw some things. All right, I wanted to make a list, so I got to talk about this real quick. All right, is anyone else watching the show on Netflix? Is anyone watching Tiger King? Oh my God. You talk about a reality show for the perfect moment. if you need something to absolutely just help you escape and distract your mind, you need to see Tiger King. It is so outlandish and outrageous. And I'm only on the 3rd episode, okay? And every night my boyfriend's like, no, we can't watch it. I don't want to know. And we just get sucked right in. There's so many twists and turns. Yeah, I agree. It is not what I expected. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. But holy cow. It is... It's so ridiculous. You can't believe it's real, and yet you're like, I just forgot about the world I'm living in right now because I've watched this show. Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. So I cannot recommend that enough. I also wanted to recommend a podcast. It's a new one that just started, and her name is Brene Brown. Okay, so if you Google her name, she did a special on 60 Minutes. Maybe you might be familiar with her. She did a TED Talk years ago that went viral, and she's done a lot of books, and of course she's a good friend of Oprah, but she just started a podcast, and I think it's called Unlocking Yourself or something. So check that out. I listened to one episode yesterday, and she talks about how we deal with the coronavirus and anxiety and the stress about it. And I love, she came up with this term called FFTs. Okay? And she says FFTs stand for the fucking first time. Okay? Because that's when we are most vulnerable, when we try something new for the first time. So that's why when I tell you, when you try a craft or you try an art project, you're going to suck at it the first time. And if you know that going in, you know that eventually you figure out, you normalize, and you figure out what's realistic, what can you learn, how you can improve. But we are all uncertain the first time we do something. Whenever one of my students takes one of my online classes, they are in an FFT. They are freaked the fuck out. That's how I'm going to call it. And they're like, am I doing this right? Where do I go for here? What do I do with that? And that's, that's normal. Hold on one second. Hey, Google, next song. All right, are we going to do lectures on Zoom, or are you just going to post? I think I'm just going to post lecture videos because, honestly, for my large lecture, I have 80 students. That terrifies me. And have you seen some of the funny videos of people like going to the bathroom while they're on Zoom? I don't want that. And about 40% of my classes are people under the age of 18. And so, yeah, it's just too many factors to worry about. I'm actually just doing Zoom more for one-on-one. So if you do want to have like a face-to-face conversation, hey Google, next song. So if you do want to have a face-to-face conversation, for my face-to-face classes, we didn't get to finish our teacher-student conferences, so I will probably use Zoom for that. So, yeah. FFT explains my current situation. Absolutely, yeah. You're in a fucking first-time experience, and we go through first times all the time. And honestly, that's why I'm a lifelong learner, because I love new experiences. I love change. I love trying something new that I have no idea how to do it. And to me, it's like a puzzle. How do I figure this out? How do I work my way through this problem? And what's great about her first episode of her podcast, Brene Brown, she says that this COVID-19 is an FFT. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the other side of this looks like. We don't know what to tell our children. And she's absolutely right. I mean, I can look at historical references, like I can look at the 1918 influenza epidemic, or I can look at polio in the 50s. But, reading about it versus actually experiencing it, I think about people during World War II. They didn't know how long the war was going to last. They didn't know if Hitler was actually going to lose. They didn't know that we were going to drop an atomic bomb on the Japanese. And yet, somehow you cope. You don't know if your loved one's coming home. You don't know who's going to survive. And you do things focused on the day-to-day, like victory gardens. And I notice a lot of people are gardening now. In fact, my boyfriend and I are going to work outside and plant flowers and things. You do small things to keep you going, and that's all that we can do. So that definitely is an FFT. So make sure you're doing things for self-care, that you're taking care of yourself. For example, like I said, by 6 o'clock, I kind of turn off my phone. I put it on vibrate. I maybe glance at it here and there, but I have to disconnect from just all of this work and being online. And in the evenings, I spend time with my family. We do family game night. Now we're rotating whoever gets to pick the game. Like tonight, it's my night to pick the game. and you have to play it. So if you don't want to play Clue, well, too bad. We're playing Clue, So it's kind of like that. Or we watch a movie. Last night we watched The Girl in the Spider's Web, which is a continuation from the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I hadn't seen it, so now I really want to go back and read the books, because I didn't do that. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Tandy couldn't go to her lecture because you couldn't connect. See, and that's another reason why I didn't want to do the Zoom, because I do know, as someone with the technology experience, if you don't have enough technology, that's just one more stressor and one more thing of anxiety. And I thought, no, I don't want to do that to you guys. So hang in there, Tandy. Certainly send your professor a message. Let them know that it's going to happen, technology issues, and hopefully you'll get that fixed. So I've also, from my family, I've brought back the 4 o'clock cocktail hour. So at 4 o'clock I go outside and make sure I get fresh air. And some of us have a cocktail, some of us don't. Or we have a snack. It's our snacking hour as well. So those are all the little things that I'm doing. Hopefully you guys are figuring out your technology, you're figuring out your schedule for all the stuff you have to do. And just know that you have me. I'm always here, and I'll keep doing the check-ins. I don't know if we'll continue to have guest speakers. If you are interested in taking over the Instagram for the day for Alice Club, you are welcome to. Just send me a private message. But as many of them are finding out, it's not as easy as it looks. But it is a challenge to be able to throw yourself out here and speak to really no one, but yet you're speaking to everyone. So, but if you want to send me a topic and you want me to cover that topic or talk more about it, I am happy to do that as well. In fact, the Cesar Chavez, I had forgotten about it until Melody, the ALS president for Richardson High School, she sent it out to our private club group chat, and so it helped trigger the memories that I had of Cesar Chavez and all of those things. So, all right, well, thanks, guys. I'm just going to keep this brief today. It was so good to see you. I hope you're all doing well. I know you have plenty of work now to get started on. Okay, so what we recommend for students who didn't buy the class textbook and use the library textbook and now the school is closed. Well, I think there's a couple of things. One, definitely email your professor and tell them that. They should have some kind of option. See if there's any classmates that you know of. Maybe they'd be willing to scan pages of a chapter and send them to you. I know students have done that before. See if your professor has an alternate version online. For example, in my history class, I have a free version online for that very reason. If you really need to save money, check Amazon. Sometimes they sell the book used. Maybe you can get the book for maybe a few dollars. That's cheaper. And I know you can rent books online, so you might try that as well. We're able to get some assignments posted. Just depends on which class. Alyssa, yes, I posted some from the online classes today, and then I'm working on posting more assignments for the face-to-face classes. So there's definitely work out there, and I will have more definitely by tomorrow for sure. Okay? All right, well, this is kind of brief, but yeah, if you have any other questions, let's see. Red Shelf, giving away free books. Oh, that's good to know. Okay, good to see you. How are you? If I see it, I'll pose that question to the faculty as well, and so that they can know that some students are struggling about where can they go to get books online. Okay. Are there any other questions you have about school or anything else? If I had our history teacher used a book only available on campus and is not available anywhere else. Okay, well then I will definitely pose that question to the faculty and staff. I'll let them know that some of them don't have access, and honestly your faculty should be coming up with alternatives, so just be a little bit patient with them. Definitely email them directly and ask those questions, but I will send that question higher up as well and make sure they're doing okay. Good to see you, Roman. Hope you're doing well. Any other concerns about online learning? Any struggles? Is anyone else having major technology issues? Should I worry? Send them an email. If they haven't posted any work on Blackboard, go ahead and shoot them an email. If you haven't not heard anything by the end of the week, let me know, and let me know their teacher's name, because I don't have any power, but I can at least send it up the chain to someone who will listen, who can reach that professor, okay? So yeah, start with that first, because I certainly got emails from students as well, waiting, and I was like, okay, I'm working on it, just hang in there, and then, Yeah, so try that. But worst case, let me know, and I'm good friends with my dean, with my boss, and she can get to the ears of people that need to make sure that you're being heard. So make sure you're not being ignored by your professors. Make sure you are understanding the assignments clearly. Make sure you have access to technology or books, and if you're missing any of those things, let me know. If there's anything you feel like I need to send up the chain to the administrators, I am so happy to do that. Okay, so I will definitely let them know about how can they get access to materials if it's not available in the library. Okay, alrighty, well, it was good to see you guys. I hope you're doing well. Check in with me tomorrow. We'll do some fun trivia. I'll find some more things to talk about. I've got plenty of stuff to talk about, and we'll go from there. All right, have a good day. I'll see you. Bye.